is Kristi Garza. I am from Detroit, Michigan, and I moved to Fort Worth, Texas. I am married to Ray Garza. I have had 8 kids. I'm currently living in Carrollton, Texas. So in 1998, I was working in a bar. I was a single mom. I didn't know the difference between Christmas and Easter. I wasn't raised in church. And I seen that this little church on my way to work was having a vacation Bible school. And to me, that was just a free babysitter. So I dropped my kids off and signed the paperwork and then just left for 4 hours and then would come pick them up. Well, after the end of the week, my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old, they were having a water night. And he said, "Mom, can you come up to the Church of the Listerines?" He meant Nazarenes, but he called it Listerines. And so I went to the big celebration night that they had up there, and was scared that the roof was going to fall in because I was there. And so I didn't go back for 2 years, and I kept working in the bar. And then I was going through a horrible divorce, and it was a Sunday evening, and I was driving up and down the freeway and had my kids in the car with me and wasn't sure what I was going to do, and felt this just sick feeling in my stomach and wasn't sure what it was. And I pulled into that little bitty church, which I didn't even know had a Sunday night service. And when I got in, I knew no one's name there. I knew nobody that went there. And when I pulled in there and opened up, there was a lady there, and she opened the door for me, and she said, "Kristi, I've been waiting for you." And she took me by the hand, and then the other ladies took my kids to the children's classes, and we walked straight down to the front aisles, and I went straight to the pews and gave my life to God, because I had hit rock bottom. I had nothing at all, and so I gave my life to the Lord. Back then, not knowing the promises that God gave me, I had a daughter that was born at 22 weeks, and they told me that she wasn't going to be viable, and that her odds in living was like winning the lottery, but apparently God had a bigger plan for her. She's 17 and doing just fine. My son was born with a heart problem, and he had to have open heart surgery at the age of 8. I have a heart problem and have had to have 2 different heart surgeries. In the last year, we had a wreck. We were hit by a drunk driver, and my son, my baby, 5 years old, got thrown out of his car seat, cut his scalp open. My husband got pinned in the car. My daughter got barely scratched up, but we were safe. We were alive, but everybody was hurt. And then within a couple of months after that, my dad died unexpectedly. I didn't even know he was sick. And I was at the point that I thought that I was having a nervous breakdown, that I couldn't breathe, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I was physically ill. And then I was at 15, my parents made me give a baby up for adoption, and within a few weeks after my dad, or a month or 2 after my dad died, he found me. And the emotions were so overwhelming that I had to actually call on the scriptures that I did know, because I remember when I thought I was at my breaking point, I had to go out and I had to tell God that he promised not to give me more than I could take, and that he had to get me through it, because I had no more strength. I had no more desire. I had no more nothing. I was floored and I was devastated. And God did get me through it. Now Satan tried to defeat me, and he put me in depression and with the heart problems, and I have panic disorders and anxieties, and he beats me down all the way. But I know that if I claim the scriptures and the promises that he gives me, that I can make it through it, because I have made it through it. I didn't think, after losing my dad, they called me 15 minutes before he died and told me he was going to die. I didn't even know he was sick. That was probably the hardest thing I ever did. And then meeting a son that I never even got to see his face was probably just as much as a flooring experience. But I tell everybody, when God closes one door, he opened another window for me. And so it was this bittersweet blessing. And my daughter now, when they told me that her odds of winning was like winning the lottery, back then I didn't realize God's hand in work. But I look at her now, and the doctors, who are people to say that they know the outcome of everything, because all of the doctors said that she couldn't live and that she'd have Down syndrome and cerebral palsy, and they wanted me to abort, and I wouldn't abort her. And now she's fine. She's 17, she's fine, and has no health issues. And so I thank God for everything he's done in my life. He's done nothing but continuously provided. Have I ignored and tried to do it my way? Many, many, many times. I've been abused in abusive situations, and that I wouldn't listen to God and went my way, to just horrible situations, from a home of molestation to drugs. I am 11 years sober, just you name it, I've been through it, and God has seen me through it where I shouldn't have made it through any of it, but He made me a stronger person, and I got through it with no injuries, with no mental, physical injuries due to a lot of the stuff. A lot of it I do have some, but I'm learning more and more each day to trust God more and more each day, and I know that His promises are strong, because when I could not go anymore, He got me through it. When my dad died and I could not, I was at my point and I was fixing to break. And I went outside and I just cried, literally cried out to God on my face before Him and told Him I did not have the strength and I could not do it, that He was going to have to talk through me, move through me, do anything, because I couldn't do anything else. He did it. He pulled me together. He pulled my strength together, and we got through it. And so far, I'm going through it, and I'm dealing with it, and it's almost been a year, and things are getting back to better, and I'm back to, my faith has increased, and I know He's there. It's just my lack of calling on Him and depending on Him, when it's never Him that walks away, it's always me that's walked away, and that was a hard lesson to learn, but I've learned that now. Instead of running to all the other things from a codependent person, I run to God instead. So we left our old church and we started going to the anewcommunity.org, and I love it. It's my favorite place in the world. I have never been to a place that, like I tell everybody, it's colorblind. That love is colorblind there. It's unconditional love. My kids have tattoos. I have tattoos. My nose is pierced. They don't care if you come in jeans and flip-flops. They don't care what your heritage is. They don't care what baggage you bring along with you. And my famous line is, like the Bible says, come as you are, not as we think you should be. And that's the best thing about a new community, is that church accepts you as you are. There's nothing fake. There's nothing fake about it. You feel the love of everybody in there. They show you the love of everybody, and it's complete, total acceptance from the moment you walk in. I mean, to your kids are hugging and loving, and the adults, everybody hugs and loves on each other. The people that we have there that don't know each other, I don't know half the people up there, but they hug me and they know my kids' names, or they come to our house, or we go over there and visit them on Mondays, and I feel no different about the people from Dallas Life and the Salvation Army than I do about my own family. I would go out of my way and do the same things for them as I would do my family. And to me, that's what a church is about. That is what a church is about. It's not the building, it's the people in it. And at a new community, to me, it's love. It's God-centered, it's God-filled, it's Spirit-led, and I'm so thankful that I have an opportunity to be a part in that church, and I have an opportunity to be there and help it grow. And I just hope my kids grow in there as well, and me and my family stay there, and we just watch it grow together, and watch all the new people and the new faces and the new people coming to love the Lord and learn how to grow more in the Lord as they teach me every day to grow further and stronger in the Lord. And I can't be thankful enough.